Rebecca Strand was 16 the first time she saw her father kill a ghost. She was woken by a hand on her shoulder and opened her eyes to Papa's face flickering in the glow of his lantern. He held out her shawl and said, "Get up, I need your help." Her first thought was, "At last." Immediately, she leapt from the warmth of her bed and listened for the weather. No rain lashed against her window. No wind howled. She fastened the woolen shawl around her nightdress. "Is a ship in trouble?" she asked. "We need to hurry." She followed him downstairs and outside. In the calm sky glowed a full moon and stars, sharp as gemstones. Not even a hint of mist hovered over the lake. It was hard to imagine a ship foundering on such a night. Still, boats ran aground on the island's sandy shoals all the time. Jutting from its beaches were the broken ribs of old, wrecked hulls. Many times over the years, her parents had helped drag survivors ashore and into the shelter of their home. But her mother had died of fever 2 years ago, and last month her older brother Bernard had ventured off to Kingston to apprentice as a stonemason. It was just her and her father now, so maybe, finally, she'd have a chance to prove herself. But as her eyes swept the smooth water, she saw nothing amiss. Her father headed straight for the lighthouse. For a second, she wondered if something was wrong with the lamp itself. Had it gone out? But then the beam swung around, cutting its white path through the night. "Papa, what's wrong?" At the huge red door of the lighthouse, he turned the iron clasp and entered. Stepping inside, Rebecca shivered. Even though it was summer, cold radiated from the thick stone. Her father was already vaulting up the spiral stairs, and she hurried after him. The hot, thrilling whiff of lamp oil hit her as she climbed up inside the lamp room. Atop its stout iron column, the blazing beacon turned, sending its beam through the high windows. The Gibraltar Point Lighthouse was the tallest of all the lake lights, rising from the western point of the island that sheltered Toronto's harbor. Across the water were the glimmering lights of the city, home now to almost 30,000 souls. Her father hung his lantern from a hook and immediately took up his spyglass. He opened the door and ducked outside onto the narrow catwalk that encircled the lamp room. Rebecca followed. "I had a warning from the Niagara light," Papa said, scanning the water to the south. Rebecca looked across the vast sweep of Lake Ontario. From this height, you might sometimes see the spray rising from the falls, and on clear nights like this, you could often catch the pale flicker of the Niagara light on the American shore. What kind of warning? She hadn't heard of lighthouses signaling one another, but this was exactly the sort of thing she'd been hoping Papa would teach her one day. Now, maybe with her brother Bernard gone, something's coming. Her skin prickled. The way her father said it, she knew he didn't mean bad weather. Papa lowered his spyglass and turned to her. He was a solemn man by nature, but she had never known him to look so grave. "Tonight must be the night you learn." Joy instantly overwhelmed any nervousness. "I'm ready. Papa, I want to know everything." She'd been born on the sandy crescent of an island, and her whole life her father had been keeper of the Gibraltar Point Light. Even though she'd never been permitted to help, that privilege had always gone to Bernard, she was sometimes allowed to watch them tend the lamp. She knew how to replenish the whale oil and trim the wick. She understood the ingenious pulleys and gears that made the beacon revolve. The lighthouse itself felt like a vital gear in her own life. Just as the sun rose each morning, each night the lighthouse beam swept across her curtained window every 2 minutes. It was as fine a lullaby and guardian as any child could want. For as long as she could remember, she'd wanted to be a keeper. "You may not thank me," Papa said, "for the things I'm going to tell you." On the catwalk, she had a powerful premonition that her life was about to change forever.